Most standards documents are incomprehensible to anyone without a technical background, which is why it can be so difficult to validate that a standard truly meets business objectives or adheres to regulations. While the elements from which tokens are composed in the Token Taxonomy Framework are encapsulated in programmable elements that deliver exacting specifications to developers, these elements are also expressed and explained in straightforward English so that line of business use case owners, regulators, and eventual customers can easily understand them. To make it easy for non-technical individuals to both understand as well as contribute to the definition of a token and the contractual actions that can be taken on it, InterWork Alliance members have enhanced the Token Taxonomy Framework with a suite of visual design tooling. It's worth spending some time in this final module taking a look at the current tooling available for inspecting and designing tokens that adhere to the framework. The InterWork Alliance Token Designer can be thought of as a visual composition palette from which tokens can be built or studied in plain English form. This tool is delivered as an extension of Visual Studio, and your IT support team can very quickly get it set up for you from the Visual Studio Marketplace. And don't worry, it's all free. One key point before we begin: just like the Token Taxonomy Framework, the Token Designer is in a constant state of expansion and improvement. So what you see in this module may not exactly match what you'll see on your screen when you open the Designer, but it will be close enough for you to know how to work with it. When examining the tool for the first time, you'll encounter some new terminology that we have not covered in these modules. These terms relate to a few advanced concepts that are not important for a business-level understanding of the Token Taxonomy Framework, but we'll introduce them now for closure. First, all of the token components that were discussed in the previous series are formally called artifacts. This is the way they are described in the tool. Second, you'll see some mathematical-looking token formulae in the tool. These are simply shorthand expressions of tokens that are useful to developers, but you can completely ignore them. You'll also notice a new artifact type called behavior groups, and these are just collections of behaviors that are often used together. To give you a bird's eye view of the capabilities of the Token Designer, we're going to take a look at the sample token definition for a class of token called eTailer. This token was contributed by InterWork Alliance members both as a learning tool as well as a working token definition that other members can modify to suit their needs. eTailer is an example of a central bank digital currency token which enables the issuance of regulated electronic money by a central bank. The Token Designer allows you to inspect a complete specification in English of how these artifacts are combined to create the full eTailer token. You can also see these artifacts expressed visually. Since we have discussed the attributes of currency tokens in earlier modules, many of these should be familiar. The eTailer central bank digital currency is fractional and divisible, transferable, and has supply control. eTailer also has some additional behaviors that are important to this form of currency: trading that can be paused, and behaviors that must be compliant to regulatory oversight. We selected eTailer as the example to use in this module because of its familiarity, but also because it demonstrates the strength of relationship between the InterWork Alliance and our partner industry organizations. The InterWork Alliance member that contributed eTailer is also a member of the open source organization Hyperledger, and has submitted an implementation of this token to Hyperledger Labs as a working example of central bank digital currency deployed to the Ethereum network. This prototype has been demonstrated to multiple central bankers, private corporations, and payment system providers. Now let's imagine that you had the concept of a central bank digital currency on your mind, but an existing example specification did not already exist in the framework. You could use the Token Designer to pull the proper base and properties into the design surface and build out your own version of precisely what you wanted from scratch. All that is required is an understanding of the artifacts that you need, and from the last series, you should already have a strong start. Each artifact is self-documented so that you can learn more as you go along. This series of modules has explained how, as a member of the InterWork Alliance, you can directly participate in the definition of business requirements for your use case, ensure that they are supported by the InterWork Alliance standards frameworks, and complete a set of formal specifications for that use case. These final specifications are then turned over to your development team so that they can build them into products. Once InterWork Alliance specifications have been turned into products, the Alliance offers members the ability to certify their products via a third-party certification service. Enabling certification is a key function of the InterWork Alliance, as it drives consumer confidence by ensuring interworking within and across multi-stakeholder ecosystems, regardless of technological choices. This is how markets scale. Since the certification process is still being defined, it will be featured as part of a future set of educational modules. At the beginning of this education, we asked what you wanted to accomplish, but were inhibited from doing so today due to technological constraints. In the course of these education modules, we have demonstrated 4 key points that will help lead you to achieving your goals. It is absolutely possible for you to make the world a better place when your vision for interchanging value is not impeded by technological constraints. The approach that can best address your challenges is based upon representing assets of value as digital tokens, which the InterWork Alliance is standardizing into a set of frameworks for the composition of tokens, contracts, and data analysis that satisfy the needs of any industry. As an InterWork Alliance member, you work with other members to model your use case's definition and flow of value and encapsulate your business-level requirements into these technology-neutral frameworks. The InterWork Alliance helps you complete your product vision by certifying to the Alliance frameworks, ensuring interworking within and across multi-stakeholder ecosystems regardless of technological choices. Are you ready to bring your dreams to life? To learn more, visit interwork.org.